Hello again and welcome to the Out of Bounds Sports Show, the weekly podcast where we talk about the world of sports, and this week is bracketology. But before we get going on the NCAA March Madness tournament, we're going to go around the room, starting with myself. My name is Adam Wooley, teacher of TV productions, speech, and advanced TV here at Lanphier High School, and we're going to go around the room and have everybody else introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Scotty.
Nate Marsh.
I'm Sam Jennex.
Zach Chalmers.
I'm Kristian Fredlund.
I'm Kapala.
All right. So you guys have been discussing at length the brackets that have been filled out for the March Madness tournament. Obviously, with Quicken Loans' $1 billion offer, getting this right, the stakes have gotten higher. But it's always a fun time to fill out those brackets during this time of season. Lets everybody get interactively involved with the NCAA March Madness tournament. Let's just go around the room, start us off, and talk about who you think is going to be in the Final Four and why. Scotty?
Out of the South, I have Florida going to the Final Four. They haven't lost since December. I mean, they're just right now that they're like the team to beat, and I think that they're definitely going to have no problem getting to the Final Four. Out of the East, I have Michigan State. They're healthy. If you saw their last couple games against Wisconsin and Michigan, 2 seeds in the tournament, they just dominated them the whole game. I think that they're set to make a run. Out of the West, I have Arizona. I mean, Arizona's been up there the whole year, and I think that they really don't have a lot of competition in their bracket. I think they'll make it to the Final Four. And then out of the Midwest, I have Louisville. As a 4 seed, I mean, I don't really agree with Louisville as a 4 seed. They're 29-5. They won their conference tournament. I mean, if you look at Louisville, they're a team built for a good run, especially with Rick Pitino coaching. And I think Florida, Michigan State, Arizona, and Louisville was my Final Four.
But having Louisville being ranked number 5 overall and then drawing the 4 seed was really something that just stuck a huge question mark in my head when I was watching the bracket selection. I was like, what does this mean? I don't even understand it, and I don't think it's justified at all. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Nate, go ahead.
I got Florida. They've been the team to beat. And then I got Michigan State, healthy. And I got Arizona. And then I'm going with the young guys, Kentucky.
Kentucky, and a little bit of a sleeper. Why Kentucky?
Because the coach knows how to get them there. Knows how to win.
Really?
So you can take the young guys and take them there again.
Okay. I mean, they haven't demonstrated any form of consistency whatsoever, so,
But
as you said earlier,
all
what'd you
records
call
are
it?
thrown away.
What'd you call that move before?
That's a gutsy pick.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
I'm going to agree with everybody and say Florida's coming out of the South, but I definitely disagree, and I'm going to say that Virginia's coming out of the East. I mean, I want State to come out of there, but I just don't think they can beat Virginia. They're too good of a team. I have Arizona coming out of the West, and out of the Midwest, I'm going to go with Duke.
Yeah, Duke's a formidable opponent. Another team in the form of Virginia. Very, very defensive-minded team, though. That'll be an interesting game for sure against Michigan State. Zach Chalmers.
I'm going out of the South. I'm going to go with Florida. Out of the East, I'm going with Virginia. Out of the West, I'm going to go with Arizona. And in the Midwest, you got to watch out for Louisville. They're coming back again this year.
So another vote for Louisville. And a lot of the brackets seem to be summing up pretty much the same. When you look in the matchups that go along with March Madness, it does come down to defense. It comes down to execution. A lot of these teams. It's the interesting thing about this year's brackets. Once it gets to the Sweet 16, it really can be anybody's ball game. That's for sure. Kristian, there's got to be something different here.
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely going to be something different. I think out of the South, Syracuse is going to come out of the South. I think when Florida and Syracuse play in the Elite Eight, it's going to be a defensive matchup, but Florida can't score with Syracuse. So I think Syracuse is going to go to the Final Four.
Wow.
Out of the East, I also have Michigan State coming out. They're healthy. They're getting on track at the right time. Out of the West, this is going to be another surprise. I have Oklahoma State. I think they're also getting healthy at the right time, and Marcus Smart is playing out of his mind. In the Midwest, I'm also going to go with Duke. I think that Coach K just gets it done, and with Quinn Cook being a leader, Jabari Parker, young guy, brings energy. I don't think there's anybody in the Midwest that's going to be able to stop him.
Yeah, I never doubt Coach K. He's one of my favorites, that's for sure. And having that mix of young players and Jabari Parker and veterans that know how to get it done. Duke, really is a dangerous team and a team to keep your eye out for. Mike?
All right, out of the South, I got Florida. Out of the East, I'm going to say Michigan State. Out of the West, I got Creighton. And then out of the Midwest, I got Louisville.
Okay, so let's transition right into what would be our next topic anyway, off of Mike's pick right there, Creighton. Mike, expand a little bit more. Why Creighton? What appeals to you from that perspective?
4 of their 5 starters are shooting over 40% from the threes. They got Doug McDermott, who's an All-American, and then
he can score with the best of them.
Yeah, that's about it.
Other sleepers, what do you guys have? Anybody sneaking up on somebody? Scotty?
I agree with Kristian. I think that Oklahoma State, they're really getting healthy at the right times. Marcus Smart's also playing really good, and then something Zach said earlier, NC State, you got to watch out for them too. They looked really good against Xavier last night.
Marcus Smart has been playing well ever since his little incident that occurred. Do you think that might have focused him a little bit more on what he's supposed to do?
Yeah, I think it. I agree. I think it took it gave him like a perspective. Like you got
Put him
to
back in his place.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like a leader on the team, and he's probably Oklahoma State's best player, and if Oklahoma State wants to make a run, Marcus Smart's got to be on top of his game.
I think it made him realize that he's going to be a lottery pick in this year's draft and that he's going to be making millions of dollars anyway, so he doesn't need to be concerned about what the fans have to say.
Yeah, don't worry about that stuff because that shows a lack of character and then it lowers your draft value and everything like that. But he's been playing absolutely out of his mind. Cinderellas?
They may not be like a huge Cinderella story, but they're definitely going to be a bracket buster in my mind. I think that Dayton is going to beat Ohio State in the first round.
Ohio State can go streaky from time to time, that's for sure. And
Absolutely,
then
and Dayton's a good ball. Dayton's a good ball team.
That's definitely gonna be a good game.
They can play. I don't know if they'll make it out of the round of 32, but I definitely think they're gonna win in the first round against Ohio State.
Go ahead, Scott.
One more sleeper team that I think might be able to get 1 or 2 rounds is St. Joseph's over UConn in the first round. I saw them play VCU in their conference championship, and they beat VCU pretty handily. And VCU is a 5 seed, so I mean you never know. But St. Joseph's looked pretty good. They got a couple big men that are really good. So watch out for them.
St. Joseph is always a good team. They're perennials. They're always in it.
That's another one of those mysteries right there. You look at VCU as a 5 seed and Louisville as a 4 seed, and you think to yourself, how do you come up with these formulas? Where do they get the idea from?
I don't know if this pick's so much a sleeper, but North Carolina. I think if James Michael McAdoo can really get on track and not fall out in the first 10 minutes of the game, I think they can make a real run at the national championship.
NC State, they're going to make a run. They showed Xavier how it goes, and I believe they beat Duke in a tournament, so they're going to be ready.
NC State. Nate, any thoughts?
I'm going with Zach.
NC State. Okay. All right, now talking about teams that could bust brackets, one of them is here locally, and we're going to wrap things up this week with the last segment talking about local teams, relatively local. I guess Kalamazoo's a little bit further across the state for us, but the team from Ann Arbor, Michigan, East Lansing, Michigan State, and then obviously in Kalamazoo, Western Michigan, all have qualified to make the NCAA tournament. Guys, let's start with Mike going this way. Out of all those teams, two-part question for you. Which one of them do you think is going to go the furthest, and which one of them do you think is going to be out or doesn't really, have much hope as to where they might have been earlier in the season and where they are now come tournament time?
Michigan, I say they're going to go out first in the second round, and then Michigan State's going to go the farthest.
Kristian?
Yeah, I would agree. I think Michigan State set up the best to go to the Final Four and maybe win a national championship. I think Michigan's probably going to lose in the Sweet 16, but they'll go pretty far in Western. I don't even know why they're in the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think Western will even beat Syracuse, and then U of M will probably win maybe one game, and then Michigan State could have a chance to make it to the Final Four, if not win it all.
I pretty much disagree with you guys. I mean, I don't think Western can win against Syracuse. Syracuse is too good of a team, but I don't think Michigan State can make it out of the East Regional. I do not think they can make it there. I mean, they have a tough road, and I think they're going to lose in the Sweet 16 to Virginia. I think that's where they're going. And then with Michigan, I think Michigan's probably going to get the furthest. I think Michigan can make it to the Elite 8. They have a really easy road.
They do. Up until they have to play Duke.
Duke, yeah.
Right?
And then I have Duke winning that game and getting into the Final Four.
Scott's going to overlap you here, Nate. So
Okay. You said Michigan State's going to lose to Virginia, yet Michigan State, they have everyone back healthy. They have arguably the best starting five in college basketball, along with a great bench. And you said that Michigan's going to make it the farthest. They don't even stand a chance against Duke. Duke's going to blow them out in the first quarter. Michigan State made Michigan look silly in the conference
They
championship.
may not stand a chance against Duke, but they don't play Duke until the Elite Eight. They won't match up with Duke until late. Their road up until there is very easy.
And you don't think State's going to get past Virginia?
Not at all. I think the defense is too much. I don't think they can handle it.
No, because if you watch the game against Michigan, Michigan State's defense was very, very good. And although Virginia has a good defense, Michigan State and Virginia match up defensively, but Michigan State can score and Virginia can't. So that's where I'm banking on it. I mean, Michigan State, they're healthy and they're definitely going to make a run. Sam Alves doesn't know what he's talking about that much.
Man. Scott defaults to the don't know what you're talking about much card. Nate?
I got Michigan State going to the Final Four. Michigan losing to Duke and Western out first round.
Another reason why Sam doesn't know what he's talking about, Michigan would play Duke in the Sweet 16, not the Elite Eight. Therefore,
I think I said that, so that's my
Therefore,
fault.
Michigan is going to be out in the Sweet 16, and you'll definitely see State contending for a national championship, no doubt.
I hope they get bounced in the first round.
Michigan State?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, one game's one game, and the Big Ten tournament doesn't make an entire season, you know. And they went through levels of inconsistency all year long too. Now they do have a couple factors. As much as I like Mike Krzyzewski, I enjoy watching Tom Izzo coach too. But Michigan, in order for them to be successful, they have to play the perfect game offensively.
They're extremely streaky.
But they can be perfect.
Yeah.
And they showed that last year. And so that makes them an interesting team to watch this season, too. The only difference is they don't have that big presence down low that can score. Not having McGarry and playing against a team like State really expose their weaknesses, especially if the big boys get in foul trouble early.
And then they don't have that star player to really take over a game like they did last year with Trey Burke. They don't have that this year.
Right.
I don't believe.
You don't believe in Spike?
Player of the year.
What?
You don't believe in Spike?
Oh, no. But Stauskas, he may be the Big Ten Player of the Year, but he can't take over a game. That's
Well, that was kind of difficult he was trying to create his own shots in the Big Ten tournament and really get free, but he is a heck of a scorer, that's for sure. Nate, you like Western?
No.
No. What do you like?
Michigan State going the furthest.
They could end up in the championship rounds, absolutely in the Final Four. It all remains to be seen, but that's it for this week's study on bracketology. We'll let the first round games play out here over the course of the weekend, see where everybody stands, and then next week get an updated bracket, plus start to preview Major League Baseball as they get set to start playing in Australia as well. So we'll be back next week with another podcast, another episode of the Out of Bounds Sports Show. For all the guys here, I'm Mr. Wooley saying we'll see you next week.